I'm back with another bonus episode made possible by our community of donors known lovingly as the Household. It's their support that pays for this independent podcast and actually what gave me the idea to release these 2 episodes together. They get a lot of bonus behind-the-scenes content, and they heard one story told twice to 2 different people, and their response to it let me know that maybe this is something everybody would be into. Anyway, if you would like to become a member of the Household and support the show and get all the behind-the-scenes goodies, you can visit our ancestorsweremessy.supercast.com to learn more. The link is also in the show notes. For this story, I traveled to 5 cities to tell one story about a group of revolutionary ancestors who made history in ways that I think it's very important to remember on America's 250th anniversary. Thank you to my guests and to everyone that came out to see a show in Toronto, New York City, Charlottesville, Richmond, Virginia, and Washington, D.C. You are going to get to hear 2 of those shows in your feed, but if you'd like to hear takeaways from every city, check the link in your show notes. There'll be information about how to sign up for the newsletter, and that is where I will tell you everything. But for now, here's one of 2 cities. I really hope that you find hearing history from 2 different perspectives as illuminating as I did. Okay, enjoy the show.
The Secret Adventures of Black People presents Our Ancestors Were Messy. A band of war-weary vets embark on a quest to find the promised land. Along the way, they'll face obstacles that pit them against the elements, the unemployed, and each other. This episode stars New York Times columnist and 2020 MacArthur Fellow, Tressie McMillan Cottom. And your host, Nichole Hill. Live from the ica-vcu, this is Our Ancestors Were Messy, a show about our ancestors and all their drama.
I love this. I love this.
Tressie.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Oh, hey. This is so wild to me. So we'll just do a quick backstory before we get into it. I have been following Tressie just obsessively and just every day, refresh. Has Tressie said anything? What are we going to do? What's the direction we need to take? For years now. And for the past, since the show came out last year, people have been like, Tressie knows about your show and she wants to come on. I've been like, that's not true. That's impossible.
Not only did I want to come on, I don't think I've ever campaigned for anything in my life. Everybody I would cross paths with, I'd be like, hey, you heard this show? It's about the only one I really, and I really enjoy it and I really like, which is very true, by the way. I told you the same. I really like this threading of 2 things that are very important to me, which is our cultural history, but also to see us in context where we get to be our fullest selves. That's what the mess and the drama is, because those things to me aren't antithetical. And I love the show. I love the setup. That was so creative and brilliantly done. And I was like, and I listened to it about 2-3 times, where I was like, why am I not on this show? So I started saying to people, tell her I want to be on, and it worked. I only had to bully her to do it, but we made it. And my last pit stop was, I think Jason Reynolds is the one who got this done, by the way, because we were backstage at a thing, and I said, hey, look, I want to do this show. He's like, yeah, I'm seeing Nichole tomorrow. I said, well, you tell her I would like an email, please.
And he did. He did do that.
Shout out
I said,
to
I don't
Jason.
believe you, but shout out to Jason.
That's right.
And Chioke, because he's the one who finally texted you.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Are you kidding me? One of
done.
my favorite human beings.
Shout out to Chioke.
So thanks to Chioke. Yeah, thanks to Chioke.
All right, let's get started.
Okay.
All right, so my first question to you. How many generations back can you trace your family history in America? Do you know?
That is a great question. We are not deeply literate in my family until like my great-great-grandmother's generation. Despite that, we have been able remarkably to go back. I think we can do 6 or 7 generations, all in Eastern North Carolina. So part of the reason why we can trace it so far is because we didn't move. And so we still have the oral history. So again, those parts were before we have like great records and are very literate, but we were very grounded in Robeson County, North Carolina. And so actually, we can go back pretty far.
Okay, next question. How has the Black church influenced your identity as a Black American, if at all?
I feel a bit like an alien with this one. A big part of my personal story is, despite looking, I know what I look like. I know I look like the South. I like that about myself, so it's cool. My family was not particularly religious. And where we're from, that's significant. Now, we went to church. The church is more than, faith. It was our cultural institution, it's an educational institution. And so there's a church right on the edge of our family land. We ceded half of our land for the building of Prospect, AME. Shout out to Prospect, AME. I think we got 19, 20 members right now. It's a poor, small county, y'all.
That's how it is.
So certainly we have the ritual. So the way I like to say it now is that I am culturally Black Southern Christian, but I was not raised, for example, and I think it was really important for me because what I didn't get was like this sense of natural deference to power. Because it was very uncommon for her time. But like, I remember my great grandmother saying, "I ain't listening to no man on no stage tell me nothing," and I just really took that to heart.
If you can believe it.
I know y'all don't really struggle to believe that. But so like we participated, but there was a certain, she always kept a sort of distance. And I think that was handed down to the women in my family.
All right, one last question. What kind of Black are you?
I love you because first of all, I don't know if anybody would be bold enough to ask the question, but also for you to be able to, because I know exactly what you mean. I don't think I think there's has been in my life, like there's a gap between the kind of Black folks think I am and how I see myself.
Yeah.
So it's so funny you say this. I don't think I've ever said this publicly, but
let's
okay.
get into it, sis.
I can tell you what I ain't a Black elite. I ain't talented 10th. Wasn't raised to be it. Went to a couple of meetings, didn't like it, came back home.
The meetings.
I respect it, and I know why we have it. It's all fine. But I was like, I think I'm good on that. But I accept that, like some, a lot of things about my life have changed. So I'm careful to say I know people don't see me as regular Black, but in my mind and in my house, I am a regular Black person.
What is a regular Black person?
A regular Black person to me is one who does not look to other people to define their place in the world. So I have a saying to say where it's like, I know whose I am. Right? I'm not confused. No matter what room I'm in, I know whose I am. I know the people who give me meaning. I know the people who give me my real social status, the kind that can't be taken away. Right? I never want to lose my facility to speak to and with those people. I don't want to sound like anyone else, right? So for me, that is, I know whose I am. I know who brought me here, as the saying goes. I know who I'm leaving the party with.
Yes.
I know if it pops off. I know which side I'm on. I'm very clear on these things.
We all have to be clear on that.
Very clear, yeah.
All right, well, we're going to get into it.
Okay, go. I've been so nervous, slightly worried about, I wonder who we got. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, because you know the story.
I know, I'm so nervous. Okay.
Okay, well, let's get into it. Here we go.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to picture this like a movie.
Okay.
It is 1775. We're in the Philly home of one of the most famous Americans in the world, Benjamin Franklin. In the living room behind closed doors, Benjamin is fighting with his beloved only son, William Franklin, and here's why. At the moment, there are around 2 million largely European migrants living in the 13 colonies. Native Americans would call these people illegals. They're pretty diverse, different languages and religions and cultures, but some say you can divide everybody up this way. A third, Benjamin Franklin included, are like, we're done with the British. We're called patriots, and we want to do the American Revolution. Another third are like, we hate politics, leave us out of this. And the final third, including William Franklin, this is, oh, thank you so much. Cheers, and everybody. And the final third, including William Franklin, the son, are like, we need to stick with the British. We're called Loyalists, and we're going to stop this American insurrection. In the movie, Benjamin Franklin is yelling at his son. He's saying, you're going to be a loyalist slave to the British? Because calling people slaves for fighting with the British, you know this is the whole thing.
That's right.
Even though they have slaves. It's just cognitive dissonance.
I know.
It's just every time I'm reading this stuff, I'm like.
Blows your mind, doesn't it? I know.
So he's like, okay, you're going to be a slave. You're going to go with the British. And William is like, Dad, why are you going against our king over the Boston Massacre? Only like 5 people died. That's not a massacre. It's fake news. These two will go on to fight on opposite sides of the war. Afterwards, despite William's attempts at reconciliation, Benjamin Franklin will die having never forgiven his son for siding with the British. America was a house divided from the very start. But this is not a story about the Franklins. In the movie, listening to this fight just outside the living room are Joseph, Jemima, Peter King, Othello, George, and Bob. These are all the people that Benjamin Franklin enslaved in his lifetime. They turn to each other and say the thing that's got to be on the minds of the 500,000 enslaved Black people across the 13 colonies. Whose side of this are we on? This is the story of our ancestors' revolutionary quest for a promised land. Here we go. So our ancestors had to make all these choices. And y'all will also have to make some choices along with Tressie. This is why you have a decision board. I'm going to guide you through 5.
Okay.
And you have bells. Can y'all ring your bells? Oh, I didn't give you a bell, but you got a mic.
Okay. I'm gonna do that.
Okay. Yeah. So when you want to decide one way, we'll have you ring your bells to go one way. And when you want to decide the other way, we'll have you ring your bells to go the other way. Now, I've been able to do this in 5. This is the 5th city. Everybody gets really stressed out in the beginning. I would say, don't be stressed.
Okay.
It's going to be really fun.
You know, a bunch of teachers' pets in here. I'm like, I want a handout with the instructions. But okay. I'll trust the process.
You can trust the process. It's going to be so fun. And what we're going to be doing is, I think that maybe now is a good idea would be to introduce yourself to your neighbor because you are going to need to make some decisions together. I don't want you guys judging one another. I want this to be all love. So why don't you turn to your neighbor, introduce yourself real quick. Say hello. Hi, neighbor. Beautiful. We're doing it like Black church style.
I was just about to say, I knew exactly what this was. Turn to your neighbor.
All right, now, here's the most important thing. Please look at your neighbor and say, I will not judge you. Okay.
I will not judge you.
Safe space. All right, I think I covered everything. Okay, that's that. All right, y'all ready? Okay. It's still the colonial era, but now we're in Essex County, Virginia, with our ancestor, David George. Every historical account I've read describes him as a charming, charismatic survivor. We will be casting him later, so just keep that in mind. You know the casting.
That's right.
He'd been born enslaved to a sadistic person we'll call the Cruel Man. David sees this man torture his family, and he's terrified that he's going to be next, so he runs. But for our ancestors, running was only the beginning, because people that traffic in humans don't just let them go. They own businesses where the labor is free. And if you build a whole country with free labor, it'll be competitive on the global market in no time.
Yeah.
So industries evolve to keep enslaved people enslaved. After David runs, the Cruel Man chases him across Virginia. He's bought and sold a few times by other people, always with the Cruel Man on his heels. Eventually, David is sold to someone down in Silver Bluff, South Carolina, and he escapes the Cruel Man for good. On this new plantation, David meets and marries a very brave, a very resilient-sounding woman named Phyllis. So based on what you've heard so far, who would you cast to be our David George, and who can be our Phyllis?
Okay, so you said charismatic.
Charismatic, very charismatic.
Clearly was brave, enterprising, got himself a woman. He did. Right? He was romancing. Okay, so he's got to be attractive.
A little bit.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with, this is so bad. I'm so obviously a Black woman of a certain generation. I only know one.
Are you going to say Denzel?
I mean, come on, yeah. That's all my brain can, process. I'm like, is there another one? I don't know. All right, so it's like the question of what year Denzel. That's the only question. But okay, so if we take Denzel off, because admittedly that man has done enough, I like some of these young actors who are.
Did somebody say Michael B. Jordan?
Wow.
He's already been cast. Oh, Sterling.
I like Sterling K. Brown is a good one.
Oh, the bells
and he's got
have
those
been rung.
soulful eyes where I think he could do that. Okay, I like Sterling K. Brown.
Sterling, we like Sterling.
Yes.
The bells have spoken. All right. Okay. Now Sterling needs a wife. Who's gonna be our Phyllis?
I know, I like them so much. Somebody said his wife, and that was my first thought because we like them together so much. Yeah. Now, the only thing I am going to throw out there, because I think there is something to her that we haven't quite, like, scratched the surface of. I really, really like the direction Quinta Brunson is going in. I do. There's something there that I don't think she's gotten the perfect vehicle for us to see. But there's something behind that girl's eyes.
Yes. We like Quinta. We like it.
Okay.
All right.
This is fun.
That's our cast. That is surprising. We haven't had Quinta cast before.
Okay.
Give it to her. Here we go. All right, so everybody, picture Sterling and Quinta. Okay. So David and Phyllis, Sterling and Quinta, have a child, and the situation seems calmer in Silver Bluff. This new enslaver isn't violent like the last one, or he isn't as violent. But David does fall into what sounds like a depression. Now, today we'd point to the family separation, the escapes, the captures, knowing his child had just been born enslaved as like the triggers for the depression, but at the time he's just like, I don't know what is wrong with me. You know, they're obviously not thinking that much about mental health. They don't have all that kind of stuff. So David, he'd never really gotten into Christianity before, but he decides to try praying. It doesn't help. But he keeps at it, and eventually he does hear God say, I will send you deliverance. Could this be a sign that he should try running again? It's time for our first major decision.
Okay.
Imagine you're in his shoes. You tried to escape slavery before.
Yeah.
It hadn't worked out, but you're miserable right now. And you do believe that God has just told you deliverance is coming.
Right.
Knowing that you have a partner and a child, let's imagine the kid is like under 5. Would you try to escape again in hopes that maybe you can solve this terrible feeling? Or would you try to figure it out and stay where you are? I'm going to ask Tressie, and then I'm going to ask the crowd. And you can talk us through your decision making.
Okay. This is such a complicated one because I think because we carry like this deep epigenetic shame of having ever been enslaved, I think we like to imagine ourselves as always, I would have always chosen to run.
Right.
I would have always, tried to kill my enslaver, right? Not realizing like the whole system.
Y'all not know that?
Right? Oh, okay. Oh, you don't imagine that one. Okay. Mr. and Miss Morals. Okay. Right. So we like to think of that, but I do think, just like statistically that underestimates, one, how hard that is.
Yes.
And it also casts the people who stayed as somehow deserving of having been enslaved. Now, I just always take that personally. A person from the South, a lot of people who didn't move a lot, right? The idea that you stayed because you were meek or feeble in some way, I've always struggled with that. So I think I'm going to, again, regular Black person over here. I love to think I would strike out on my own, and I actually think as the mother, I'd be more likely to. So I think if I'm Quinta, I'm more likely to run because I'm thinking of the child. But I think if I'm the man, I think if I'm David, I think I try to stay and make community, especially if I've now started turning to religion, maybe a church, because that's what we did. We create a space. They can enslave us in a place, but in a space, we're free.
Right.
In our minds and the stories we tell and the hymnals we sing. I can imagine if I'm smart, tried it once. South Carolina's a whole lot further away from freedom.
Yes.
And South Carolina was brutal. And I'm thinking, if I don't make it, my God, what would happen to me? I think I'm staying and trying to build a church or community maybe.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. If you are staying, let's hear it. Ring your bells.
Thank y'all for not leaving me out there by myself. I appreciate that.
And if you're running, let's hear it.
Also fine. Yeah, I feel you. I do. I get it.
I think it's more people running, like about 2/3, would you say, are running?
I would say so.
Yeah. I'm sorry, 2/3 are staying. 2/3 are staying.
So.
Yep. And about 1/3. I have always thought, reading their accounts, something that always comes up is their family. And I'm like, if you had my family, if I'm enslaved to my family, you don't need chains. Where am I going to go without my mother?
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like that's so. All right. You all made it through the first decision. Well done. That wasn't so bad. All right. So let me tell you what David George decides.
Okay.
He decides to stay. Yeah.
Okay.
But he is miserable.
Yes.
He keeps trying prayer. He keeps looking to the horizon for deliverance. And he says that starts to make him feel better. Then a Black Baptist pastor named Brother Lyle stops by the plantation. During the colonial era, Baptists and Methodists were welcoming to converts from the laboring class across race, but in different ways. Just keep that in mind.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. So Brother Lyle's preaching, and he's like, y'all, God said, come unto me, all ye that labor, and I will give you rest. And David is like, God likes laborers? I love that. So in addition to praying, he learns to read. He starts scrolling through the Bible. He's like. He and Phyllis join Brother Lyle's congregation, and eventually David is offered the position of pastor.
Yep.
People just like him. He's very, sterling.
You said he was charismatic.
Yes.
That's why I think he's saying he's making a church, because that's a preacher.
And that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So he gets invited to be the pastor of this church that he joined, and he's like, no. He doesn't think that he's fit, but eventually he says, okay. He gets their enslaver to give them a barn for their services, and they name it Silver Bluff Baptist, and it becomes one of the very first Black churches in America.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Under David, Silver Bluff Baptist grows from 8 to 30 members.
I was going to say, that's impressive. That's more than our little church left in Prospect. They're doing better than us.
David, where is it?
It was good. Yeah.
His congregation is made up of our ancestors, fellow captives. They're all likely to have experienced violent assaults and to have witnessed their loved ones being violently assaulted. But I imagine at Silver Bluff, they get to enjoy, at least for a little while, a sense of safety. Everybody say safety.
Safety.
In that safety, they tell each other Bible stories. Historians note that Black folks across the colony seem to love one story in particular. It's their I want to dance with somebody, their living on a prayer, their return of the Mac. It's the Exodus tale.
That's right.
Of how God sided with enslaved laborers over wealthy pharaohs and eventually sent deliverance. Everybody say deliverance.
Deliverance.
In the form of Moses, who parted the seas and led them into the promised land. So in the movie, everybody's in church, getting down. They're having so much fun. David is preaching. They're so into it. In my movie, he'll lead his congregation in singing one of our people's most powerful hymns. Okay, so the song was Kirk Franklin's Revolution. I can't play it now for licensing reasons, but you should go listen to the chorus and then laugh, and then come right back.
Yes, that ancient Negro spiritual.
Ancient spiritual, we all know.
By
Our
one
ancestors.
Kirk Abraham Franklin. Nice. All right.
So they sing that. It's all in all the books. It's not in the books. They don't want you to know. And then the American Revolution arrives in Silver Bluff. All right, so in 1779, they hear that the Redcoats are coming, and David George's enslaver just runs away. He just leaves everybody there.
White plantation owner in South Carolina, that's exactly what I expect. That is literally exactly what I expect.
They're like, oh my God, okay.
Yep.
And now our ancestors and Tressie and all of you have some decisions to make.
Okay.
So, Black folks, they're meant to be in this information blackout at this point in time. Enslavers worry that all the talk of all men being created equal will give them ideas.
Right.
They already have the ideas. But there are all these whisper networks across plantations. For example, Black people who were forced to deliver the mail from plantation to plantation would also drop off news and gossip to Black folks. And maybe that's why, or maybe that's how everybody heard what was going on in Virginia. Let me tell you about it. So picture, maybe we're going to have Quinta doing this part. Quinta's going to be doing a little exposition dump. She's going to be, guess what I heard?
Oh, I can totally
You
hear
can
her
see her
saying
doing
that.
it. She'll be so good at it. So in 1775, Lord Dunmore, governor of Virginia, said, listen, enslaved people, I proclaim that if you fight for the British, you'll be free.
Right.
A guy named Harry Washington from a plantation called Mount Vernon was like, bet. Now, he tried escaping this plantation before, but his enslaver, George Washington, had always hunted him down and dragged him back. Right. But then word gets out about Lord Dunmore's Emancipation Proclamation, and Harry escapes for good. He dons a red coat, he fights for the British. There was also this other guy everyone calls Colonel Ty. He escaped slavery in New Jersey and joined the British, where he got command of a guerrilla unit specializing in raids, ambushes, and assassinations. The papers say that men like him serve in uniforms with "Liberty to Slaves" written across their chests.
That's so attractive.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it?
I mean, I really like that disposition. I like that. I like a man who will show up with, liberty. I do. I'm looking at that. And
Liberty
I was like,
to slaves?
Yeah, look how he's standing there. I really like that. I don't know what that says about me.
With a bloody...
Yeah. I don't know. I'm a little into it, but fine. I like that.
Oh, should we cast him? Well, we don't really need to cast him. But if we did have to cast him, who could play him?
Oh.
Mm.
Now that one, right, because I think he does fierce well. I will go with Michael B. Jordan. I will allow that one on this. Yeah.
But somebody said Aldous Hodge? Oh, that's what you said.
Who?
Aldous Hodge.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Also.
Okay, we can have them both kind of audition for the role.
Well, yes, it's hard work.
It's hard.
But I'd let them come and audition for
We're
me.
willing to allow.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so just to catch us back up, the kind of question is, would I go fight for the British?
Right.
They've just offered me freedom in exchange for service.
Yeah.
Now, maybe you're wondering, how does anybody know that the British will actually free them after the war?
I was just about to say, that would be my thing. I
Right?
mean, how do you trust? They're so far. That's a distant master.
Yep.
As opposed to the master I know.
Yes.
And like, free me where? Like, am I going back to... I would have so many questions about the logistics.
The logistics, 100%.
Yeah, and unless they had someone there to explain those logistics to me, I'm like, man, I don't know you.
Well, this is what they can... This is what they can offer. They promise.
Oh, that was it.
That's the end of the offer.
I was literally waiting. I thought a document was getting ready to show up.
No, it's just they promise.
Girl,
they
please.
pretty promise.
Okay.
So now, Tressie, and then all of you, whose side are you going to choose? Are you going to fight for the American patriots, or are you going to fight with the British loyalists? There's a murmur in the room. No. What will Tressie choose?
There is no question in my mind that there is one of the inherited values from my people that I get is the devil you know is better than the one you don't. There's an expertise enslaved people have at this point. They know white people better than they know themselves. I know where they live, they sleep, I know how they eat, I know what their fears are, right? Yes. That's power. Information is power.
Yes, this is true.
I don't have any way to know about the British, right? And the literacies I would need to even start, have been denied me. I think I'm going to lean into my expertise. I know those white people. I don't think I would trust the British. And I would be thinking what I know about my enslavers is too powerful. I'll fight with them, but that is also because I'll know how to resist them. I'll know how to maybe even kind of control them a bit.
Wow.
And if I've been enslaved, even a little bit of control
goes a long way. It's
huge. Goes a very long way. So I think that would be my choice. Not because I love the idea of America, of freedom, but because I don't know those people.
Right. All right. If you would fight for the Americans, let's hear it. All right.
All right, teammates. It goes down at noon.
And if you would fight for the British, let's hear it.
That's fine.
Oh, it's kind of 50-50.
I will say, from what I know of this, like the Loyalists were better outfit. Like if I'm hungry now, I'm going to the Loyalists because they apparently, they had rats. They were better.
They did have, the Americans
that
were
was also
starving.
a lot of the. That's right. That was a lot of the appeal, right? Their camp, they were healthier. You get clothing, you get food. So I totally get. I think there are lots of reasons, but okay, fair enough.
All
Loyalists. Right. You surprised me.
50-50.
I know, so many.
I love it.
Is that because they were in Virginia, maybe?
Maybe. You know what? So I've done this in Toronto, New York, Charlottesville. What's the other? Washington, D.C., now Richmond. This is the first time anyone has ever chosen Americans.
I think it's because that is fascinating.
Yeah, and the majority of the room also chooses the British. Yeah, this is the first time it's ever gone this way.
Okay, we're going to have to unpack
We're
that
going to have
later.
to unpack that
That's
later.
fascinating to
Yeah,
me.
yes. I was like,
That's real. Yeah. Well, I mean, so what do we think that is? Is it just identifying with, at this point, maybe the American brand is so tarnished?
I think the way that you are also breaking it down of like the devil you know versus the devil you don't, versus the kind of the, I don't know, the hopefulness or the kind of feeling of like, maybe that will be better. Let me reach over there.
Gotcha.
I think that also kind of is influencing the way we're thinking about it. But this is the first time it's ever happened.
I'm going to be thinking about that for quite some time.
Yes, me too.
Okay.
I'm like, how do I summarize this?
And on the
audio?
250th anniversary of America, right, to also be thinking that way. I think that says something about how we feel about this country. Yeah. And that just if we'd taken another fork in the road, maybe we could have gotten it better, or there could have been a better solution. And maybe you're thinking, then you also aren't built on this foundational contradiction, right? Building a democracy on top of slavery. Yes. Which that's the fundamental, that's the only contradiction that America cannot resolve and why it cannot be what it needs to be. So I can see thinking, okay, we didn't resolve, we messed it up, let's go the other way. But what an interesting thing to be thinking on our 250th.
All right. So 5,000 to 8,000 enslaved and free black people fought for the Americans. 15,000 to 20,000 black people fought for the British, including the members of Silver Bluff Baptist Church.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
You don't say.
Yeah, they really did it. And we don't really know how many really tried to escape to get to British lines. I read all kinds of wild estimates that I can't include here. They're like 200,000 people tried. And it's like, well, you don't know how many people. Yeah, exactly, yeah. But we know how many went. And it's 15,000 to 20,000 versus the 5,000 to 8,000. And this is this promise of freedom and the hope that it's true.
Yep.
So
and they are more powerful, too.
Yeah, and no one would have ever thought the Americans would win that war.
That's right,
ever.
Yeah.
So, America and Britain, So, Silver Bluff Baptist, they're with the British. They're stationed outside Savannah, Georgia, and when they get there, they run into Brother Lyle. This is the God Digs Laborers message, and it sounds like they're one of America's first two black pastors. They're among the first. They stay close, they keep their congregations close, they look out for each other as they navigate the horrors of war. I'll just say black soldiers, I know I talked about Colonel Ty, we got the whole Michael B., all this kind of showdown thing going. Most of the soldiers are doing like civil engineering projects. People really don't want to give black people guns.
Yes, that's
We've
right,
already
that
discussed.
is it.
Yeah.
No, that really is
it's very real. So this elite squad, this G unit has guns, but for the most part, people are doing like
Civil
not
Corps
that
of
G-unit.
Engineering.
G unit? No, not that one.
Thank you very much. But
Most of them, it's like building trenches, building forts. These are civil engineers. These are people who know how to get these things built really, really well. They've been forced to know.
Yeah.
So that's what most people are doing.
Okay.
So they are navigating the horrors of war, but then in 1781, the British surrender at Yorktown, and our Silver Bluff Baptist congregations learns that they had picked the losing side.
Woo!
Yeah.
I know.
So America and Britain meet up to negotiate their divorce. George Washington is like, I want all our property back, including those black loyalists.
He got some.
Yeah, he's a Harry Washington. Where is he? Give him back to me.
Got some.
You know how that is. Sir Guy Carleton is the lead negotiator for the British, and he's like, well, actually, the black loyalists are free because we promised.
Okay. That's on me. Okay. I never said you should follow me. Okay. Because fair enough. Oh, my.
They say that this is about an honor
That's
thing.
right. Honor among thieves, huh?
But also, the British know how crucial slavery is to America's economic model.
Right.
They just want to like stick it to them
that's
one
right.
last
They want to
time.
stick it to them. That's right.
Yeah. So George and Guy fight and fight, but eventually Carleton offers a compromise. He's like, all right, so listen.
These don't usually work out for us, so hold up. A compromise.
Here's the compromise.
Okay.
He's like, I'm going to take a bunch of the loyalists, including the black ones.
You are attached now, girl. You are attached. Okay.
including the black ones, up to Nova Scotia. This is a nearby British colony.
Yes. That's where that came from.
For them, it's just like going to another state. I know for us, it's like, whoa, Nova Scotia, but it's just another colony.
Right.
Another British colony. So it's like, we're going to take them there because they're the nearest colony that hasn't betrayed us. And we'll tally up the value of all the black people that we take, and then we'll like send you a check or something.
Yeah, because they good for it.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
George Washington is like, I know you're not going to pay us.
Exactly. Because he knows he wouldn't pay them.
He knows he wouldn't pay them.
Yeah.
But Guy Carlton is like, no, GW, I promise. Yeah. So word goes out to the black loyalists that if they can, make it to New York City, find the right location, get their name in a ledger called the Book of Negroes, collect their certificate of freedom.
I knew that was fine print. The minute you said the word compromise, I was like, these do not work out for my people. You got to get to New York.
You need to get to New York. You need to find this bar, Francis Tavern. It's still there.
Girl.
You need to get your name in a ledger. You need to collect your certificate of freedom, proving your military service.
There's a certificate involved.
There's some paperwork. Yeah. And then you got to get on a ship, and then you can stay free.
And I'm getting on a ship.
Yeah, you got to get to Nova Scotia. It's the only way.
That's how I got here.
That's
how all this started.
That is how all this started.
I don't go on a cruise ship now. Okay? That close to the lived memory of a ship.
It's only one way.
Ma'am.
You're going to have to do it. Maybe. Or not.
They
We'll
better.
see.
Okay.
We'll see. David, George, and Phyllis in Silver Bluff are in South Carolina when this plan is hatched. So I'm sure they're wondering, how are we going to get to New York City? How are we going to do all that stuff? But then they find a loophole because people love David. Somebody's like, David, I got the hookup. There's a boat that's leaving to Nova Scotia straight from here in South Carolina, but you have to hustle.
Yeah.
So in the movie, David and Phyllis tell everyone, all right, we got this boat to Nova Scotia. Everybody get ready. Hurry up. So we should picture them, they're in the...
Racing.
They're in the tent. They're frantically packing. There's a little tap at the door. It's Brother Lyle and some folks from Silver Bluff Baptist Church, and they say, Brother David, we're not going to Nova Scotia. Oh. Brother Lyle found a ship that will take him and his people to Jamaica.
Well, Brother Lyle. You know, when you first mentioned him, I almost said, okay, liberation theology. But here we are.
He's like, I'm going. Now, Jamaica is, again, it's another colony.
But still.
And it's a slave colony. They would have known that.
But still.
That's where he wants to be. That's where him and his people go. You do?
I
You would
get
go to,
it. No, but I mean, if of my options for them, where they're trying to avail themselves of this like opportunity to be free, if those are my two, if you tell me it's Jamaica or it's Nova Scotia, I like to think that what partly he was responding to is, again, just like that, almost a genetic biological pull to that's closer to home.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I think I'd be thinking that.
So that's where he decides he wants to go. Silver Bluff Baptist, they've decided they want to go back to Silver Bluff, which is the home that they know.
Okay.
In the movie, everyone will say, Brother David, Sister Phyllis, Nova Scotia, how do y'all know that this isn't a trick to re-enslave you? Like, why would you trust the British? And David will say, well, because the British promised. So now it is time for major decision number 3. Are you going to get on this boat to Nova Scotia without any of your friends, or are you going to stay in America, try to figure it out? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Somebody said, where is the Jamaica option?
I know. People always ask about that. There's no Jamaica option.
Okay, Brother Lyle said, no, we full. Okay.
Exactly.
Right. And, in the movie, I feel like they've now known each other, and Brother Lyle was like, nah, we good. I don't know why, but I just feel like something.
Sterling, I'm tired. Yeah.
But okay, so whether you go, I am still so doubtful about believing the British. That at this point, again, so which one is the more imminent threat, right? Yeah. I know for a fact if I stay, I go back. I know the system I'm back into. You go back so that's to be clear. Okay. So then the great unknown becomes a little better because anything I'm thinking is better than that, right? He has already tried to escape before.
Yes.
Has a family now.
He's got a family, yeah.
Has developed literacy. He
can read now.
He can figure it out.
Yep.
And listen, there's no greater, I think, power than knowing that whatever happens, I can handle it.
Yes.
And I think that's one thing literacy gives us.
Yes.
Well, drop me there. I can figure it out. There'll be a book. There'll be some instruction, And so I think if he's got that, if I got that, I think at that point I go to Nova Scotia.
You ready? You're going? You get on the
think
boat.
so.
All right. If you are going to Nova Scotia, let's hear it.
Really going to Nova Scotia.
All right. And if you are staying in America, let's hear it. Okay.
That's fair.
All right. We got a few.
All right.
It was overwhelming majority for the audio later. Overwhelming majority. They're going to Nova Scotia.
Yeah, we playing Lakeside on the way out the door. We gone.
And there is a kind of a thing to think about, which is that these are religious people.
Yeah, they've
and
got
when you have this
story
faith,
now.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So when you have that to follow,
that God will protect us in the wilderness, and maybe that is where we're going.
Exactly.
But that is where God calls you. And they've got a story. This is why stories are so important. Stories are the only thing that changed the world, man, and this is why. Because when you're faced with choices that are bigger than anything you could actually probably just settle for yourself, it's bigger than anything you know.
Yes.
All you've got is, well, I got a story that says, if I step out there, and that's why people move. That's such a great example to me.
We are in church right now.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Wow. I'm like, all right. So when, I got all kinds of caught up in what you were saying. Here we go. When the members of Silver Bluff Baptist return to South Carolina, they are likely re-enslaved, but they keep Silver Bluff Baptist going, and it is still in operation today.
I wondered. Wow.
They keep it going. We got a legacy.
Look at that. 270 years. When you are Black in America, we just don't get those kinds of numbers attached to our history.
Yes.
That's just so stunning just to even see that number.
Yes.
Okay.
So they keep it going. When Brother Lyle makes it to Jamaica, he becomes an indentured servant, and then eventually he's free. He opens Baptist churches across the island that teach countless Black children and adults to read at great personal risk. They say like 10,000 people, but I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I'm always suspicious of historical estimates too.
But he had such an impact on literacy on the island, and that's what he was doing for both enslaved people and free people.
Okay,
so
that's amazing.
That's his legacy. After the American Revolution, 20,000 Loyalists, Black and white, choose to relocate to Nova Scotia. David George, Phyllis, and their kids are among that number. So they're on the boat.
All right, David and Phyllis.
In the movie, we'll see Sir Guy Carleton on the docks in New York City. His General Birch approaches and hands him the Book of Negroes. This contains the names and escape stories of 3,000 Black Loyalists. Birch will say, "Sir, I've totaled the value of all the Black Loyalists in this ledger so that you can pay George Washington back like you promised." At this, Carleton will laugh and say, "Imagine paying reparations for slavery." I'm sure the Americans will just let it go. Everybody say, let it go.
Let it go.
All right.
Wow.
By way of intermission, I wanted to talk about the Book of Negroes a little bit.
Please.
Yes. So we're actually going to hear from it. This book contains the first and last names of the people who went to Nova Scotia and a little bit about their escape story, how they got free. The descriptions are very disrespectful, so I took those out and I adjusted some of the language to make it very clear. But Chioke is going to come up and he's going to read a few of those entries. These are all the people, our courageous ancestors, who managed to survive slavery or war, make it to New York City, find the right location, get their name in the ledger, collect a certificate, and make it onto a ship to freedom.
When I tell you, now, I told you I'm not religious. That's my religion.
Amen.
That's my faith.
Amen.
That's, if I came from that, I mean, who could be against me? That's amazing. Seriously. Brother Chioke.
Harry Washington.
Harry Washington.
43, fine fellow, formerly the property of General Washington, left him 7 years ago. Francis Bruff. 18, stout fellow, Black, born at Grenada, from whence he was taken by General Arnold. He left the general at Quebec and is now free. Chloe.
1
1 month, born free within British lines. Phyllis Sparrow,
Phyllis Sparrow.
28, mulatto, formerly slave to Charles Sudam of Brunswick, New Jersey. Left him 7 years past with Nana Sparrow, 11.
Sparrow.
Suki Sparrow,
Suki Sparrow.
9. John Sparrow,
John Sparrow.
3. Jane Thompson,
Jane Thompson.
70, with a grandchild 4 years old, says she was born free, lived with Colonel Tucker of Norfolk, Virginia, left him 6 years ago. These persons appear to be the property of William Wilson, they having fallen to him in a marriage settlement. Jenny Bruce, 15, fine girl, 3/4 white. Betsy Bruce, 13, fine girl, 3/4 white. Hilly Ivy, 12, fine girl, black. Harry Jackson, 8, a good boy.
Let me just say this. I go through all that. I make it. Bureaucratic hurdles, conniving geopolitics, and unfaithful statesmen, only to get there and have you write down that I was stout. And I mean this. I think I will haunt you from beyond the grave for the rest of your life.
You would deserve it.
Yeah.
You would deserve it. All right, let's ring our bells for Act 2. All right, so this is just a little fun fact to start us off. Until more recently, when Canadian students met the colonists aboard those ships leaving America, they did not meet them as traitors or losers. They know them as the United Empire Loyalists, the principled, genteel, wealthy, all-white heroes of the American insurrection. So it looks a little different in Canada.
Yeah.
So it's the summer of 1783 now. We're back in time. 20,000 Loyalists have begun arriving on a rocky little peninsula up by Maine called Nova Scotia. There's a large white population already there that's mainly ex-Americans. The First Nations would call these people illegals. Everyone starts spreading. Oh, yeah. Did y'all see where Nova Scotia? Yeah, you see where it is. It's up there. So everyone starts spreading out across the province, but 10,000 black and white people head to a town on the southern coast called Shelburne. Everybody says it's pretty empty. We don't know why. Don't worry about it. The Loyalists, the Loyalist vets expect to arrive and receive a plot of land with rations waiting for them. The black Loyalists expect all that too, plus freedom. Everybody say freedom.
Freedom.
Okay, so when I'm researching, I'll read just like this one line of something, and it'll be like, so-and-so ended up here. And I'll be like, why? Like, what happened? What would lead you to make this decision?
Right.
And it's just not in there. And so what researchers often do, these historians do, they sort of form a hypothesis and start researching the hypothesis. So I have formed a hypothesis that I'm going to take us all on a journey into as to why this one line is in the archive.
I love a hypothesis. Let's go.
Okay,
I love it.
All right, so we know that David heads to Shelburne while Phyllis and the kids stay in Halifax. This is presumably until David finds work and housing.
Okay.
So let's imagine all the boats docking. White folks start heading in the direction of Shelburne, but black folks head in the opposite direction, 4-ish miles and a river away. So we're picturing David, he's looking around, he's confused. Then he bumps into Harry Washington. So we know he'd survived the war, he made it to Nova Scotia. David says, where are all the black people going? And Harry says, to the promised land, follow me.
Ooh.
They head to a lush green community in the forest that the black Loyalists named Birchtown. It's not the best spot in the province. It's right on the water. It's near a swamp, but it is run by the elite fighters that served under the late, great Colonel Ty, who died valiantly in battle.
Colonel Ty.
Colonel Ty, he's back.
Okay.
So these men, they aren't city planners, but during the war, they'd specialized in raids, ambushes, and assassinations.
They know they'll be safe.
And rumor has it that when this G unit, when they left America, they'd kept their guns.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe that is why 2,000 out of 3,000 Black Loyalists choose to live in Birchtown.
Yes, right.
It's where everybody goes. So Colonel Ty has passed away, but his fighters and his memory still remain. So they have set up shop in Birchtown. Most of the Black people set up shop there too. The living in Birchtown is tough. The Black Loyalists get fewer rations and supplies because science says that they are less human.
Right.
They get to talking to the Mi'kmaq indigenous people, though, and they learn that Shelburne and the surrounding area, it's solid rock. It's completely unfarmable. The land's terrible. That's why it's so empty. The Mi'kmaq are like, we wouldn't live here.
Right.
We only come here in the summertime. What are you guys doing?
Uh-huh.
So the Black folks are like, oh, my God, the British. But the Mi'kmaq are like, don't worry. We're going to help you out. We're going to help you build what are called pit houses, which is when you dig. They're dug into the ground, and then you use pine trees to build the roof.
Okay.
And this is all, they have to do it this way because the British won't give them lumber.
Right.
So, but the Mi'kmaq are like, okay, we're going to figure it out. So they got homes. The Black Loyalists organize work crews and safety patrols. And then I'm sure the New England Blacks teach the Southern Blacks. They're like, okay, this is winter. It's coming. Get ready.
Yeah.
You know, it's tough for a Southern.
I'm going to tell you the truth. I was thinking so petty when you said they went south for some reason. I was thinking, yeah, it's cold. But no, I know.
Every time I tell this story, this is why I was like, is this going to come up? Every time Black people are like, Nova Scotia, like, cold? I don't know where it is, but it's cold.
Our spirit feels that.
Exactly.
And it's like, we're going to be all right?
It's going to be too cold,
Okay.
yeah. So, but the New England Blacks know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, you guys get ready. So this is by no means a perfect scenario, but the Black Loyalists of Birchtown are now the largest community of free Black people on the continent and likely in the world outside of Africa. So history only captures the misery of Birchtown, but let's do an exercise. Let's imagine you're finally free for the first time ever.
Yep.
If you were in their shoes, what do you think you would do with your time now that it's your own?
That's just it. Whatever I want. Because that is the point, right? We were just talking about this earlier with Lisa. Like, that's the point, that you can do whatever you want. I would expect that, again, we're just talking about human beings, and based on the things we just heard, many of them still relatively young. I'm thinking I'm forming families left and right, right?
Left and right.
The idea that, you can put down the roots and like shoes and you could all of that emerges for the first time. Yeah. I'm thinking what has been the through line for my people is that they start a school. I mean, I will forever be stunned that 3 years out of slavery, and we have essentially a school system.
Yes.
Right. That's just that's remarkable. So I'm thinking in schools.
Yes.
There's religion, obviously. So I'm thinking a church, right? Yeah. And there would be a thriving. I'd be building a lot of faith communities. But yeah, this is fascinating. But yeah, I think I would they're choosing, just making choices every day, whichever ones they want.
What would you do in the wilderness?
Yeah.
Or what are you into out in the great
Well,
open?
can't you tell? I'm such an outdoor girl. Can't you tell?
You're just hiking every day. You love hiking. Everybody's always saying, look at that Tressie on another hike.
So here's the thing. Believe it or not, during COVID shutdowns, I did start hiking a lot because it was all you could do. So I will hike, but I'm not sleeping. I don't do none of the rest of that. But I'm going to say, these folks have been working hard. We're born to be units of labor.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I ain't hiking. So like my mother thinks I'm crazy. She's like, you know how hard I worked to never use an outhouse or anything again in my life, and you want me to sleep outside? Like she thinks camping is like a pathology. She thinks it's insane. So no, I don't think I'm doing that. But I can see like developing leisure, like a leisure activity would emerge, right? Yeah. And you're in like nature. I can't imagine like a lot of exploring. Yeah. I can imagine doing a lot of, again, they bring a lot of skills with them. There's, you've got people who know how to do plants and, botany and to make things. Yes. I'm thinking that I would be doing that type of thing with the land. Yes. Since now I can, and I don't have to worry about hiding it from a master. Yes. Right. All those things that basically I had to hide. Yes. That's why I'd be thinking, the sister in Sinners, her house out there. That's pretty much me. Do. Yeah, I'm making potions. I'm doing, but like freely, just out in the open.
Yes. Well, you did mention churches.
Yes.
And the Black Loyalists are super Christians.
Okay.
Religion is to them what the algorithm is to us.
Got it.
Brought to you by shady people you shouldn't trust, but yet you like, you engage, you follow.
I am going to steal that so hard. You have no idea how I'm stealing that. But okay, that is amazing. That's really good.
Their influencers are the preachers, and the equivalent of their phones is the Methodist Meeting House. They turn to it for everything. It's where the kids go to school, where people get married, and of course, where they have church. In my movie, Pastor David George heads to the Methodist Meeting House. He's going to go meet with their lead pastor. So we'll see David in the sanctuary. He's waiting expectantly. Maybe there'll be like a flashback of Kirk Franklin, Revolution, the historical, yes, our ancient hymn. And so suddenly, an old man begins making his way down the aisle with the help of a cane. He's blind. He says, "Brother David, I'm so pleased the Lord brought you here today," but you can tell he's not pleased.
I was about to say something because even to this day, preachers don't like no new preachers showing up. So the minute you said, they say he thinks they're waiting to receive this great, and I was thinking, brother,
But this is the first time it's happened, so he didn't know this yet.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He's just learning.
I've been to church. I've been to some church conventions, and I expected nothing less. But okay. All right, Brother David.
David George says, "Brother Moses, what a blessing," but you can tell
Ooh,
it's
that's
kind of
shady.
not.
That's shady.
Everybody always says that. They're like, a blessing? Shade.
Yeah, that's shady.
This is Moses Wilkinson, a.k.a. Old Moses. He's a formerly enslaved minister from Virginia who'd managed to escape to the British lines during the war, make it up to Nova Scotia, and the way that he preached the Exodus story, very legendary. People say he gets so into it that his congregants worry that he's going to have a heart attack.
Oh.
That's how hard he goes.
Okay.
In the movie, David will be like, "Well, I also am very good at preaching it. I mean, but people are worried about my heart too, but it's not the same." So David will be like, "Hello, Pastor Moses. I think I'm the perfect assistant pastor for you, and I also think that here in the Promised Land, Black and white people can go to church together."
Oh.
Moses will be like, "Excuse me?
Yeah.
Interracial church is a colonial era Baptist belief, but Moses is a Methodist. This is a Methodist meeting house. So yes, our ancestors have just survived slavery and a war, and they're now some of the freest Black people in the world, but Baptists and Methodists can't just go to church together. I think we all know that. This is not going to be okay."
That's amazing.
So I picture old Moses telling David, "Well, your application to the ministry is denied. This is Methodist country, and mark my words, Black and white people going to church together will only lead to trouble." Now it is time for our next major decision. If you're David George, would you rather live in Birchtown with your people, but you cannot do the thing that you love, which is preach, or would you rather live in Shelburne with a bunch of scary white people, but maybe you can preach there? How much would you sacrifice for a dream?
Girl. Okay. Okay, so my first thing is, so here's my first problem. I know I'm hopelessly contemporary and I'm projecting. I just want to admit that up front. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not sure Brother David is so much responding to a calling as Brother David wants to be important.
Ooh.
So
bells are ringing.
I'm just saying, competition is competition. And I'm thinking, the young upstart smelling himself, as my people would say. He thinks it's his time, right? Some of these impulses are older than nations,
yes.
And that's right. So I'm thinking that I know what I would do, but I think that's different than what David would do, because I actually would. If my people have just come through this, I want solidarity and safety so badly. I will do whatever job you assign me.
You're staying in Birchtown.
That's right. There's no way I'm going and putting myself back into that, which now may not be a legal separation, but we know there are lots of ways to create differences and impress people. I'm not going back up to Shelburne to do that. The memory of that is still too fresh. But I don't think that's what is motivating Brother David.
That's what Brother David's going to do?
Brother David, I think, needs a pulpit and some followers and some faithful church ladies. And I think he's like, if I got to go be with white people to have it, I'll do it.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Okay. Who is going to Shelburne?
Thank you, y'all. I'll see you after back there. We'll talk about this. But okay.
And who is staying in Birchtown?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's the room. That's the majority of the room. But we did have a handful. Shout out to the people who are going to Shelburne.
Yeah.
We're not judging. Remember we said at the beginning?
That's true.
We're not judging each
Now,
other. We're celebrating.
I said that to you. I ain't said to everybody. And I will have a light meeting after this if you wanted to discuss that decision.
All of your decisions. All right, so this is all hypothesis.
Okay.
All of this is to get to this one line. David George chooses to live in Shelburne.
Yep.
Just like you guessed.
Yep.
So our ancestor gets to Shelburne, and he finds that the British have prepared nothing.
Of course.
There's no infrastructure. There's no housing. Everybody's living in tents. In modern terms, this is Fire Festival.
That's good. That's good. And they say they have no culture. Look at that. So what I love about this is the thing you pointed out, because all the skilled people, like the Lord, they don't know how to do anything. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
They don't know how to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Oh my God. All right. So the man who is in charge of getting the water, if you know, you know, is a bureaucrat from Boston named Benjamin Marston. Okay. So the governor of Nova Scotia took his job as more of a retirement gig. So he was like, Marston, I'm going to empower you to handle all of this loyalist resettlement business, and I don't want to hear about any trouble. And then he goes golfing or whatever.
Yeah.
We don't know. He's not really in the story after that. So Marston is in charge of everything, and when he sees the Loyalists, who history remembers, as like loyal and noble and genteel and all this, he's like underwhelmed.
Yeah.
Here's what he writes about them in his diary. Can I have you read that one?
Oh, I get to do it.
Yes.
Okay. It's exciting. These poor people are like sheep without a shepherd. They have no men of abilities among them. It's exactly, yep. They're shiftless and lazy. Yeah, that was. Okay.
But he's like, you know what? This is what I got. I'm going to do the best I can with what I got. So I picture Marston showing up to work, and he's greeted by thousands of war-weary, unhoused ex-Americans. They're like, Marston, where's our land and our rations and our jobs? Also, we want income equality in this colony, but there better not be any racial equality.
Oh, I've been to that meeting before.
You've been to the meeting?
Yeah.
Sounds familiar.
I've been to that reading group. I know who that is. That's great.
Marston is like, okay, first of all, good morning. Next, announcements, 3 of them. 1, we're going to give you land, but it has to be assigned one at a time. We got to break it up into lots and give it to you that way. So can y'all form like a 10,000 person line? Rich people to the front, obviously. 2, we were going to bring your food rations in by sea, but American pirates keep raiding our boats. So now we need to build roads to bring them in by land from a town that is miles and miles and miles and miles away through solid rock and forest. It is going to take a while. I hope you're good at dieting or whatever. Announcement number 3. When the Black Loyalists were enslaved, they were forced to be carpenters and construction workers and civil engineers, and a lot of you white guys are poor ex-farmers. We are trying to build a metropolis here, so as you can imagine, the business dudes of Shelburne have decided to give all the jobs to the Black Loyalists and just pay them next to nothing. This is not my fault. End of announcements. The white Loyalists are furious.
Of course. Divide and conquer from the outset, by the way. This is just 101. This
What do you
is
mean
just
by that?
proto-capitalism 101. Well, we would give you all this wonderful stuff, but those black people, those immigrants, those Chinese, they showed up, they took your jobs, they're taking your stuff. I mean, this is 101, man.
This is it. This is exactly what they did. So they're like, Marston, this sucks and it's all your fault. And then they open a bunch of taverns and get wasted in them. And that's why out-of-towners come to call them the Dancing Beggars of Shelburne.
No.
That's their nickname. All right, so David heads to the part of Shelburne where black people live that has been creatively named Blacktown. If we named it, I love it. If we didn't name it, I hate it.
That's
You know
very
what I mean?
good point. That is exactly how I'm thinking about it.
We would name it that?
That's what I'm saying. I just assume, because we would do, like...
We would 100%
Listen,
name
my
it.
people have been my people since we were my people. Yes, if we got an opportunity to call it Blacktown, we calling it that. So I just assumed, but you're right.
I hope we did.
Yes,
if we did it, then boo,
good point.
we hate that.
Yeah.
All right. So it's also all tense. And it sounds like here David George confronts the enormity of his choices. He's separated from his family. Food is scarce. The white loyalists have dreamt up what we'll much later call Jim Crow laws. And they are forcing them on the Blacktown residents.
Yep, see?
Was this deliverance? I'm going to have you read what happens next.
Okay. I began to sing the first night at a camp. Black people came from far and near to listen. I kept on every night in the week. Then I appointed a meeting for the first Lord's Day, close by the river. A great number of white and black people came, and I was so overjoyed with having an opportunity once more to preach that I could not speak for tears.
He's turning it around. Then, guess what?
What?
A white guy gives him some land, and the community helps him build a Baptist meeting house. Black and white people start attending, and he starts baptizing people left and right. Then
Those drunk people in the picture?
the drunk people come.
All right. Praise the Lord, David. Praise the Lord.
Then the governor hears about David George, and he's shipped extra rations, he's granted more land, and Phyllis and the kids are sent from Halifax to finally reunite with him in Shelburne. David and Phyllis have homes constructed on their land for members of their congregation. They appoint church elders. The pews sound full. David is like, we are so back.
Yeah.
So do you have any advice for our ancestors in this moment? Things are looking up.
Listen, far be it from me to question, because listen, I couldn't do a fourth of it. I just am deeply suspicious of this overnight investment in a single black person and black family.
Yeah.
I think that what was happening in the other town looked more collective to me. And this is starting to feel a little prosperity gospelish, but hey, I don't know nothing. I don't know everything, Nichole. I don't know everything. So I don't know. I'm like, on the one hand, again, yes, it looks like his choices are paying off, and it looks like he has been blessed. But again, is that the way that God proves you're blessed? I don't know. I don't really like. Yeah, I'm a little concerned. I'm a little nervous, but I am happy for them and their choice. I'm really happy for that sister. Because he just left. I mean, where has she been in this story?
She was up in Halifax with the kids.
Yes, see, I'm very happy for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now it's summer 1784. Our ancestors have been in Nova Scotia for about a year.
Okay.
The British government has failed to live up to its promises for about a year. Now, the Loyalists could have united to hold their government accountable, but instead they turn on each other.
Yeah.
Rich versus poor, Baptist versus Methodist, unemployed versus employed, so that's white versus black. And all the while, more and more Loyalists keep pouring into Shelburne. So this is your classic powder keg situation. But for now, everything's fine. Marston writes the following about the Loyalists in his diary. And for clarity, enormity means crime. So here's what he says about them in this moment.
Upon the whole, considering who and what they are, and the confused way they are huddled together, it is much in their favor that we have had no great enormities committed amongst us.
Yeah, so he's like, these people are this, like the bottom of the barrel, but they're not killing each
Considering
other.
that they're not working with much,
Yeah.
at least they haven't turned to murder.
Yes.
Yeah.
So one day in July 1784, David George and his congregation meet up at the Baptist Meeting House. Okay. This is one in Shelburne. We're picturing excitement in the air because today is Baptism Sunday. I don't know if it's actually Sunday, but that's the vibe, you know. White, all that. So we're imagining singing and rejoicing and excitement as everyone heads on down to the river to witness people be reborn. Now, the gossip around Shelburne is that an out-of-town couple named Mr. and Mrs. Holmes have traveled to the city specifically to be baptized by David George.
Okay.
Mr. and Mrs. Holmes are white.
This is a big deal. This is a big deal.
That fact might be why a group of white loyalists, who are likely out of work, broke ex-soldiers, also head on down to the river.
Uh-oh.
So everybody's there. I'm picturing the couple and David George stepping into the water while Phyllis keeps one eye on them and the other on the white loyalists. Mm-hmm. So the vibe is very tense. David baptizes Mr. Holmes first, and everything goes fine. No reports of trouble.
But the wife.
Then Mrs. Holmes steps up.
Yep.
Can you read David's account of what happened next?
Oh. Okay. Mrs. Holmes' sister laid hold of her hair to keep her from going down into the water.
Yeah, so she runs out there into the water, tries to stop this baptism. So you got to picture like these two white ladies thrashing about in the river, likely because the sister does not want him baptized by this black man.
Well, this is a deeply intimate thing. That's why I said,
Yes.
it might be all right for it. But now a black man is getting ready to touch a white woman in public who will be wet, which is a level of transparency we think of, right? Like, that's huge.
It's huge, yeah. And he's just like, no, I'm doing it.
And the sister's thinking about her reputation and her, Okay.
So somebody ends up having to call the law. We can imagine Benjamin Marston shows up, he's rolling his eyes, because you already know what he thinks of these people, these white loyalists. He's like, the lady says she wants to be baptized, so let her be baptized.
Yeah.
So she's baptized.
Okay.
Everybody leaves. David George will be asked to give an account of this event later in his life, and here's what he says happened next.
Okay. Several of the black people had houses upon my lot, but 40 or 50 disbanded soldiers came up with the tackle of ships and turned my house and every one of their houses quite over. The meeting house they would have burned down had not the ringleader of the mob prevented it.
So the white loyalists have formed a mob. They've destroyed David's home and the homes of those living on his land, but not the Baptist meeting house. And here's how David responds.
I continued preaching. They came one night and stood before the pulpit and swore how they would treat me if I preached again. I stayed and preached. The next day they came and beat me with sticks and drove me into the swamp.
After the mob chases David into the swamp, they spread out across Blacktown, looting, rioting, attaching ropes to homes and ripping them down, attacking any black loyalist in sight. Benjamin Marston writes about it in his diary.
Riot today. The disbanded soldiers have risen against the free Negroes to drive them out of town because they labor cheaper than they, the soldiers.
David George, Phyllis, and the kids escape with the rest of Blacktown to the one place they hope that they will be safe.
Yeah.
4-ish miles and a river away. So now most of Black Nova Scotia is in Birchtown and likely bracing for attack. And here's what the mob would have known about their community. To get there, they'd have to make it across the river, through a lush green forest and swamps, and undoubtedly all along the way, there would be black men waiting for them. Men like Harry Washington, who'd escaped America's commander-in-chief and fought with the words "liberty for slaves" written across his chest. Men who served in Colonel Tye's elite guerrilla unit and specialized in raids, ambushes, and assassinations.
Yep.
And rumor has it that when the veterans of Birchtown left America, they'd kept their guns.
That's right.
The rioting continues for 10 days. The white loyalists carry out attacks against government officials, the wealthy, and each other. Blacktown is destroyed.
Yeah.
But despite all that chaos, there are no accounts of any successful attacks on Birchtown. The continent's largest community of free black people survived the Shelburne race riots, which historians cite as Canada's first and one of the continent's earliest recorded race riots.
And you know, it's unfair to Canada because we brought that there. I'm serious. I want to point there. I mean, it's not that they are perfect or anything, and they got their own problems. Speak to the indigenous peoples, but like we brought that.
Yeah.
You know, you can't let us in your house. By which I meant, you know, the loyalists and whatnot. But yeah, I again, the safety was never in being special. The safety was in being in the number.
Yes.
This was exactly my fear. He was special, hyper visible, in town, where the class warfare between the poor white laborers and the richer white loyal. I mean, this is the only way I think that can end. They knew the safety was being together.
Yes.
That's why I'm going with them. That's why. I don't care how uncomfortable it is.
Yeah.
freedom is freedom is not being special. Freedom is being able to choose where you feel safe. Mm-hmm. You know. Mm.
So now we're going to fast forward 8 years. It's 1792. When we meet back up with David George, he and Phyllis and the kids have left Birchtown. I imagine in a little bit of a huff.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you have to picture him and Phyllis show up to church after being at the center of the first recorded race riot in Canadian history.
Yeah.
So, you know.
And do you know what Phyllis been saying to him for them 8 years? I got a clue. I know what I would have been saying to him, and now he got to come rolling himself on in there.
And every Sunday you're just there, and everybody's like, Brother David, Sister Phil, are y'all inviting any white people to church today? Be sure you tell us next time.
You like your house? Oh, you know. How's the house? You like it?
Yeah.
Oh, you know.
Church people, it's just like, it's just brutal, right? And it's all so sweet. Oh.
So happy to have you back, brother.
Yes, what a blessing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the archive does not get into any of the drama. It just says that David was able to preach house to house, but in the end, he and Phyllis left Birchtown because, can you read the reason?
Okay. My own color persecuted me there. Now, Brother David. You know, I know that the Exodus story is an important one to our people. I got to tell you, this story is shaping up to be a much more as instructive as that story. I mean, this has everything. Because now he going to be Clarence Thomas. Oh, what, y'all scared? Y'all think Clarence can fight me? I said it. I mean, this is everything. And now my own color persecuted me.
Color.
David. Okay.
No.
Yeah, all right.
David becomes an itinerant preacher. He's traveling from town to town, and his popularity just keeps growing.
Okay.
So let's picture him returning home from a preaching trip one day. He'll walk through his front door, and a man will be standing there in front of the fire. Phyllis will say, David, we have a visitor. This is Thomas Peters. In the movie, Thomas Peters will turn around dramatically, and he'll say, hello, David George. I found a new, true promised land for our people, and I can get us there, but I need your help. Everyone, it's time to make one final decision.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, so Thomas Peters, he's rumored to be an African prince. So here's the thing. He's a descendant from a Yoruba tribe, which is Nigeria. He is a prince, so he is a Nigerian prince who is in need of help.
In the way that one is a Nigerian prince. Yeah, I got it.
The internet.
Yeah,
so he's a prince and he needs some help getting back to his kingdom, and only you can do it, but in a way that you can believe. Don't worry about it.
Nichole, girl.
So Thomas was rumored to be an African prince. He's kidnapped and enslaved in Louisiana. He fought for the British in the war, and now he's in Nova Scotia. He'd been going from town to town looking for work and land, and in the process, he's also gathering news from across Black Nova Scotia. He learns that even though the Black Loyalists were the labor force building up the colony, they were barely making enough money to survive. In the winter, they were freezing, sometimes to death, and they were starving year-round. But their biggest issue is slavery. There were enslaved people in Nova Scotia before the Black Loyalists arrived there, and the white Loyalists did bring 2,000 enslaved ancestors with them.
Yeah, they never go far without bringing their enslaved people, yeah.
On top of that, their former enslavers from America were coming up to Nova Scotia and contesting Black folks' legal right to freedom. Some were being straight up kidnapped back into slavery. So our ancestors are being disappeared, and they're terrified and determined to stay free.
Yeah.
So they hatch a plan. They put Thomas Peters in charge of executing it. So here we go. He gets himself on a ship sailing to London. Now, not all black people know each other, but in this case, it does seem like he ran into some black loyalists that he used to know back in America. And so they're like, oh my God, like, what's the word? How's everybody doing over there? He tells them everything. They're like, oh no, bruv, because they're turning British now. And then...
but you know what? I like bruv. I like the way they say it.
Bruv.
Yeah. Idris Elba churned me on bruv.
Yes,
I like it.
We're like,
I like
okay,
it
we'll
now.
take it. We like it.
Yeah.
So he tells them, they're like, oh no. And then they connect him with the leaders of an abolitionist group called the Committee for the Relief of the Black Poor. So this is a group of rich, well-meaning white people. Granville Sharp is the man in charge. He's the guy in green.
Okay.
And they love music and helping black people. So Thomas tells them everything, and they're like, you know what? We've all been talking about this, and we think that black people might always face discrimination in majority white spaces. It's just like a feeling we have for some reason.
Yeah.
We're wondering if the best shot y'all have is to be in Africa, where you'll be the majority.
Yes, yeah. All right.
We actually sent 600 black people to a British colony called Sierra Leone to test this theory, but they all died. Somebody said they needed vaccines and a brokered peace with the native tribes whose land we sold, but we think the problem was that they weren't Christian enough.
Yeah, of course.
So we want to try the Sierra Leone thing again, but where are we going to find hundreds of black super Christians looking to relocate right now?
Yeah.
And Thomas Peters is like, whew. Exactly, that's exactly it. So now he's back in Nova Scotia. In the scene, he's pitching David, George, and Phyllis on getting on one more boat and traveling to Africa. He'll be like, David, Phyllis, this time it's going to be so different.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like all the other times before. The British government will give us land, rations, and freedom from slavery.
This time.
For real.
For real this time, yeah.
It's going to be illegal. Slavery will be illegal there.
Yeah.
Africa was the promised land all along. David, will you help me get our people on board? I can imagine Phyllis interjecting and asking the question that I'm sure we all have, which is, how do we know the British are going to keep any of these problems, or any of these promises, or that they won't sell us back into slavery? And Thomas Peters will say, well, because the British promised. It's time for your final major decision. You're David, George, and Phyllis. Are you getting on one more boat to go to Africa? Or are you going to stay and try to work it out in Nova Scotia?
So I'm thinking, I know why Thomas wants him, because the nonprofit sent them to go get him. And I mean, I'm sorry, I look at that picture. I've been in so many meetings that look
all those people
exactly like that. Some of them even had on those outfits. So I'm thinking I know their commitments. I get where their interests are. I get Thomas's interest. He wants to be the one to facilitate. He's a deal maker. David likes to think of himself as somebody who makes deals and being called. It's so important that the Lord would call him into something this great and this big. I think he's going to go. It's going to be a disaster. I would not go. If I'm Phyllis, I would tell him, go, send me a letter, tell me how it is. But send for me later. Yeah, that's where I would be right now.
You're staying put.
This man has pulled her from pillar to post.
It's true.
She can't make any friends. True. He's like, he's never around to help with that baby. But that's what I think. But I'm interested.
All right, y'all.
Know.
If you are getting on that boat and you're going to Sierra Leone, let's hear it. Okay. And then if you're staying in Nova Scotia, let's hear it. All right. So the majority of the room is staying in Nova Scotia. This is very Canadian of you. This is how Toronto voted.
Okay.
Yeah. They were all like, we're done. We're staying right
and
here.
I'm feeling some kinship there with them.
With the Canadians. Yeah.
And you know what I just realized too? The other thing, all that nonprofit is giving Thomas and them is a God. They ain't got no guns.
Oh, yeah.
They're not equipping them to be safe.
Yeah,
and I've learned my lesson now here that I need that, you know? But I'm with Toronto. I feel Toronto on that.
All right. David, George, and Phyllis decide they're in.
Yeah.
They're going to Sierra Leone.
I was worried about this.
David agrees to help with promo and logistics. They tell the church influencers. The influencers tell their followers. Yeah. Everyone's liking. Everyone's subscribing. But then, according to David,
The white people of Nova Scotia were very unwilling that we should go. Though they had been very cruel to us and treated many of us as bad as though we had been slaves, they attempted to persuade us that if we went away, we should all be slaves again.
Without the skilled, cheap
That's
labor
right.
of Black loyalists, the wealthy and the landowners will lose their investments and their influence. So the powers that be concoct elaborate bureaucratic roadblocks and spread conspiracy theories that everyone that goes on this voyage will be sailing back into slavery. Nevertheless, 1,196 people board 15 ships and are out.
Yeah.
It sounds like more would have gone if there had been room.
Yeah.
Here's a few words about their 1792 voyage from David George, founder of one of America's first Black churches, survivor of one of the continent's first recorded race riots, and key organizers of one of the world's earliest and largest back to Africa expeditions.
Yeah. Gosh, stunning. Our passage was 7 weeks stormy weather. There was great joy to see the land and the high mountain in the distance. Freetown, where we now live, appeared like a cloud to us. I preached the first Lord's Day, and it was a blessed time.
Can we make some noise for our ancestors?
Amen. All right.
All right, so let me tell you what happened to everybody with all these choices that you made. If you ended up at number 10, that's in Sierra Leone. Let's hear it.
All right.
All right.
I'll visit. I would definitely visit y'all.
So let me tell you a little about your legacy. The enslaved people of America turned Black loyalists of Nova Scotia turned Nova Scotian settlers, once they arrived in Sierra Leone, were colonists.
Yeah.
We honor them, but we cannot ignore that fact.
That's right.
They end up having lots of beef with other Africans and the British and each other, more church drama. But they figure it out enough to make babies, and today, their descendants are known as the Creole people of Sierra Leone, who count among their number Idris Elba and the late, great Chadwick Boseman.
I'll be doggone. I'll be doggone. I love that so much. Oh, look at Chadwick, y'all. Oh, that makes me so happy.
They figured it out.
And they came back home
And
eventually.
they came back home, exactly.
These children, they came back.
Yes.
Oh.
Thomas Peters has a golden statue built in his honor, as in the end, he was their Moses who finally led them out of Egypt.
Yep.
David George continued on as a preacher, community leader, and abolitionist activist. And even Harry Washington moved to Sierra Leone, where he ended up taking a revolutionary stand against British influence in their colony.
All right.
All right, who ended up at number 9? You stayed in Nova Scotia?
I'm so scared. That's us. Let's own it, everybody. Let's own it. Thank you.
All right, so this is your part of the Black loyalist legacy.
I feel like I ain't gonna get no Chadwick. But okay, go ahead, go.
After the mass exodus of Black loyalists, development in Shelburne stalls and the town eventually empties out.
Yeah.
The Black loyalist settlements lost half their community to the Sierra Leone expedition, but those that remain offer refuge to other African Americans on the continent. Black loyalist towns become some of the northernmost stops on the Underground Railroad. See, you guys did it too.
Okay.
An estimated 50,000 enslaved people in America escaped to Canada via the Underground Railroad, but we don't know. I mean, it was a secret, you know.
I am so afraid that I'm getting ready to get stuck with Drake, by the way, that I can barely hear a word you're saying. I am terrified.
I'm not gonna give you Drake.
Okay, okay.
Don't worry about it.
That's all I've been thinking for the last 3 minutes. That if I turn around and I see Drake,
No.
I am out of here. But okay.
Oh my God, okay. Today, Birchtown is home to the Black Loyalist Heritage Center, who welcomed me into their archives and have been walking me through this history since 2020. So a very special thank you to Black Loyalist scholar Graham Nickerson. He was raised in Shelburne, actually, and he never knew this history, but then he became a historian, and he starts working with them, and then through the Book of Negroes, he discovers that he is a Black Loyalist descendant from Virginia.
No.
Yes, we're family. We really are.
Yeah, now
Connected all
that's
over the place.
stunning. Yeah.
All right. Did anyone stay in America?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no one
Okay,
wants
I remember there were two of y'all. Don't make
There
me
were
look in your
a few.
direction. But there were two. Okay.
All right, well, let me tell you, there's like a debate around how America has commemorated the Black Loyalist legacy. Let me tell you the point of contention. It's around the War of 1812.
Okay.
It was 20 years after the Black Loyalists left for Sierra Leone. That conflict saw the U.S. and Britain face off again, enslaved people fight for the British on the promise of freedom again. They escaped to Canada again, only this time they were called the Black refugees. Some scholars think that the Americans, possibly incensed by yet another betrayal by the people they'd enslaved, adopted an anthem with a verse that was a direct threat to the Black refugees and the Loyalist example they'd followed. Others say we can't know what this line meant, and maybe the Americans had let the escapes and the fighting for the British and all that go. Everybody say, let it go.
Let it go.
Here's the verse. No refuge could save the hireling and slave from the terror of flight or the gloom of the grave, and the star-spangled banner in triumph doth wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Yeah.
There's so much more that happened, but for now, that is the story of the Black Loyalists and their revolutionary quest for a promised land.
Amazing. Amazing. Amazing.
All right, so at the end of that story, how are you feeling? Tell us what's going on.
The highs and lows of that.
Yes.
So again, so many of the things I'm always struck about this whenever we do like a historical story, how little things change. Like the political economy changes, all those things change, but fundamentally our conflicts are just so similar.
Yes.
Right? Competing for labor,
Yes.
using the division of race and migration status to control labor, religion's role in both helping people imagine freedom and in keeping them chained to the people who enslaved them. I mean, all of the contradictions, they're all there in this story, and I find that so stunning. And to think about it through individuals, because that's all we're ever doing. It's just people.
Yes.
Trying to make choices. And what really struck me about like us doing the choices there, all jokes aside, is like there really were no good choices.
Right.
Right. The freedom they had gotten wasn't that there was something good necessarily waiting for them. It was that they at least got to choose.
Yes.
That was the freedom. And that's as good sometimes maybe as we're going to get.
That's it.
And I feel like right now, in the moment we're living in, that's very... I maybe need to know that and to remember it. That sometimes it isn't that there are any good choices, honey. It says, at least I'm alive and I get to choose. And my people did a lot to just be able to do that. Yes. To choose between a swamp and the unknown. Right. And that to them was freedom. And I don't know, that feels real important to me right now. But that's a heck of a story.
So on this anniversary, knowing that we're here, this is our country, this is where we live, this is where we're from, how do you sit with your American identity? How do you make peace with it? What's your relationship to that part of your identity?
So you asked me at the top of the show what kind of Black person I am, and my answer was, well, I'm a regular Black person. That's also my citizenship status. Like if you ask me, you know, what kind of American I am, I'm gonna tell you I'm a regular Black person. Because to me, in Blackness, the Blackness that I come from, that is ascended here, that gets created here, you know, Black is the category, the identity that gets created here as a response to the creation of racism that is fomented and perfected in the American contradiction of democracy and freedom, is that I am the most American in that sense. I only exist because America does, and America only exists because I do. So I just feel, you know, and I'm thinking about quite literally, you know, because of the work I do, they keep asking me to, you know, contribute to this 250 things. Right? I'm sure you like this. You got tons of these, and you know, I want to come read the Declaration. No. Yeah, I want to come read even Frederick Douglass, who I do listen to his every year. Nah, not really, you know. Chuck has got a better voice for that and all that kind of thing. You know, could I reflect on where America is in 250? This is what I loved about this story. What do you mean reflect? You don't have to look.
Yes.
We're not different enough, I think, to be reflecting. What are we We have the same Exodus story, whether it's the civil rights movement or it was going to Nova Scotia.
Yes.
Right? You have the same class warfare used to pull everybody back in, right? To the story and the self-delusion. Like, there's so much continuity there that what feels strange to me about being asked to reflect on 250 is, I mean, are we different enough to warrant reflection? Isn't it enough to just read the news, right? If I can pick up the newspaper at any point in this country's history and see the same story, what am I reflecting on? Reflection is for when you have distance. Yeah, I reflect on a relationship once it's over. You know? We're still in it. What's the reflection, boo-boo? We're still doing the thing. We really are still just doing the thing.
Oh my goodness, Tressie, this has been such a pleasure.
This is the most fun.
So much.
Listen, and I had high expectations. This was better than I could have ever imagined. And I want to say 2 quick things I've been holding this whole time. One, your family is too pretty. They are such an attractive little family. They're so cute.
Look at
I did. I've been wanting to say that for like an hour. And the second thing I wanted to say was, when I think the inevitable happens, when you become a really big deal and star, will you just please, just, still, send me a little invite to the show. No. It is not just that this is good. You are good. You're good. So when the inevitable happens, just that's all I ask.
Forever. I'm at your house.
No, that's all I ask. Put me on an occasional little list somewhere.
You're always on it. You're always on it. Everybody heard it. It's official. It's official.
Thank you. And thanks, y'all. Y'all were so fun. This was so fun. Thanks for coming out. It's amazing.
Everyone. This episode was written, researched, produced, and performed by me, Nichole Hill. Thank you eternally to Tressie McMillan Cottom for your wisdom and your heart. It was such an honor. It was such a privilege. Everybody, do yourself a favor right now. Follow her on all the social media, read her books and her writings, listen to her interviews. You will be a better person for it. Thank you to my A-team. That's my day one executive producer, Adriana Ambrose, and the newest member of the team. You've actually heard him on the show before. He is known for so many incredible things, but what I love the most is his commitment to telling the stories of regular Black people everywhere, all throughout time. He's been a tremendous champion of this podcast and of me. I am so thrilled to welcome our newest executive producer, Jason Reynolds. Thank you to Davey Sumner for mixing and mastering and scouring music databases for gospel piano music. It's harder than it should be, but I appreciate you making it happen. Thank you to Martina Abraham-Zilunga for story editing and Aselika Smith for show art. A very special thank you to Chioke Ayensen for research production and voice talent, and for organizing this taping of Our Ancestors Were Messy at the ica-vcu. Thank you to the entire team there for handling the logistics so beautifully. Thank you, Lisa Woolfolk, for managing the slideshows. Your timing was impeccable. Thank you to Jim Ambushki for fact-checking. A very special thank you to my guide through all this history, Canada's own Graham Nickerson, Black Loyalist scholar and public historian. We are a completely independent show. If you would like to support us, you can join the household at ourancestorsweremessy.supercast.com and get access to bonus and behind-the-scenes content and support the future of the show. To learn more about us, you can visit ourancestorsweremessy.com. Before I go, I'll just say this. I'm a storyteller by training. I'm a history curator, in part because of quotes like this one from Ben Okri. Stories can conquer fear, They can make the heart bigger. Happy 250th, y'all.